So I awake this morning, and how are you? And I want to have a cup of coffee. I come on the back porch, and I'm seeing things in the house that needs to be repaired. And I know what money is like. I know that at least the last time I had something. And then I'm thinking about, guys in my position usually do the work themselves. That's why we're called the jack of all trades. We can do some of everything because we had to. Long time ago, I started wondering, that didn't make too much sense for me to have to when others don't. And I can argue that all I want, but usually I have to do it. But I'm sharing this with you because I'm sure many of you homeowners, if you're a second-class citizen or treated like that, or your finances say that you are that, you're going through some of the same problems. And yet, if you are able to, if you haven't already, go for a drive and go to a neighborhood where people got money live. It might be gated, it might not. If it's not, then check it out. Just ride through this and observe the kind of living styles they have. Isn't it a dream? And as you come back home, you can come through neighborhoods that it starts coming away from that, getting a little less, and then as you come on back, you see what you got. Now that's an awful, awful way to be. And yet this kind of way exists because the powers that be, I'm talking about the intelligence or lack thereof of men who want to play God, who have designed what they consider the best way. And they have designed it in such a way that when you dish out your money, and this is, I say money, because this is the thing that determines whether or not you can actually project yourself as being somebody. Because no, you can live out here like this. You can't be anybody living in the ghetto. That's what they message. That's the obvious message. And so they set it up. They are saying that if you give your power to me, now that could be a Republican speaking, that could be a Democrat speaking, that could be a woman speaking, that could be a man speaking, that could be a hater speaking, a racist speaking, or it could be a kind, nice person speaking. But the word goes out like that. And so they are separating. This is what I represent. And so when you say, how do you really manipulate people and get people to come your way, have some impact on their lives. Do something nice for them. Make them feel like, wow, I like that. He cares about me. She cares about me. Now, when you're doing that, at the same time, you're doing something to make sure that it doesn't work that well for those that you're not interested in. And so what you're doing, you're showing the difference between the two. Now you got everybody want to follow you. Why? Because what you're doing for some, others want. And they are hoping that you will, and you will tell them that you will. Only the evidence will prove that you only did just enough to they can identify something happened. And that's better than nothing. See, that's the way the game is played. Now, here's the difference between the righteous way. You go out there and you see all those beautiful houses. The righteous way will make sure, based upon its basic principles of natural compassion, natural love, and righteousness, it is designed in such a way that when people just live their lives, it in itself causes a manifestation of the ability to enjoy those things that you can imagine. Because you play an intricate role in the manifestation of it, it makes you part owner. And there you, the whole house belongs to you guys, this one family. See, that's the way that the natural order works. Now the man's way, they will tell you that their way is the world. So if you're talking about righteousness, if you're talking about going someplace that they have been teaching you to think about going to heaven instead of living in heaven. Now they got you thinking that to have a nice house, to have a nice car, to travel is worldly, and you got to pass that up. No, my friend, that's another trick. Worldly is this. To have that, you got to lie, you got to cheat, you got to steal, you're willing to kill, you're a hater, you're a racist, you're a bigot. All of these things, is just to name a few, and so many more. All of this to gain something that others don't have. That's what you call worldly. Not a car came from God. The most beautiful car came from God. The most beautiful home came from God. The most beautiful flower came from God. So don't let anybody tell you no trick like that. Everything beautiful comes from God. And just not when beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This home over here might be beautiful, and this home over here magnificent, and yet each other look at the other and think, what a mess. Boy, God is good. It is worth me trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we need to change our way of thinking, change our way of action, and these problems that we are complaining about will disappear because we would have changed and our actions would have changed, and the problems say, well, where are they? Okay, I want to thank you so very much for these few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying good morning.